You want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Build it and they will come. This is a New Jack City, homie. Turn up your sound component wherever you are right now.
We jack up the volume, we'll be able to tell what you had for lunch.
The next hour is going to change everything you think you know about building your business, starting your business, and raising the money for your business.
Show me the money! Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Reg.A Money Show. This is Ron Costa in studios with Miguel Dotris. Miguel, how's it going today?
It's going great, Ron. It's always great to be here in the studio with you in the Reg.A Money Show studios, coming to everybody live from Las Vegas, Nevada, where the temperatures are a stifling what, Ron? What's it outside today?
We're actually getting a little break today. It's a little less than 110. I like it. We can play golf today.
110. I try to explain to people what that temperature feels like, and I tell them, look, what you got to do is you got to step in front of your oven, turn it up to about 500 degrees, pull out your wife's hair dryer, and then take off all your clothes, open the door, and then turn on the hair dryer. So you'll get a rough idea of what it feels like to be in this kind of temperature.
So true. And I'll tell you what, Miguel, there's fireworks going on around here. It's the 4th of July weekend. It's fireworks time here. As usual, it's fireworks time in the Reg.A world as well. There's so much stuff going on. A couple of weeks ago, we brought on Darren Marble, CEO of CrowdFundX, and we talked about the Myomo deal. And today we're going to take that to an even higher level. Is that right?
Yeah, no, that's right. We got some really good guests lined up for all our listeners today on the Reg.A Money Show. We got one of the pioneers that has actually taken his company, one of the first companies to list themselves on the New York Stock Exchange. We're going to have the Chief Executive Officer joining us here on the show when we come back from the break, and we're gonna listen to his story. We're going to ask him a few questions that we've been getting from our listeners, and then as always, we're going to do the full disclosure with him and get some personal information on this CEO and see what he's all about. But it's going to be a great show, and we're really gonna what we really want to do, like on our last show we talked about all the things that a company would have to go through when dealing with the Securities and Exchange Commission, and now we're going to have somebody who's not only dealt with the Securities and Exchange Commission, also went through their specialist, FINRA, symbol, and everything else that they had to go through to kind of get their company listed up there, and all the steps in between that. So it's going to be very interesting to get the actual applicational uses that somebody had to go through to get their company listed from a Reg.A offering standpoint. So it's going to be a great show today, Ron, on the Reg.A Money Show today. I'm really excited. So
yeah, same here. And I like how Myomo proved it could be done. I like how we talked about this in a different show as well. There's not just one listing. There's a number of different exchanges that you could be on, the OTC, et cetera, right? So
we saw that. Yeah, we saw that Reg.A is progressing, and what we're talking about is Reg.A Plus is progressing. Broker-dealers, financial institution, investors, everybody's kind of putting their arms around this. Before, it's real hard for all these industry-type people to understand this. So now you had Ilio that went through to Reg.A and listed OTCQB, right? And then you had Myomo listed New York Stock Exchange, and now you have another company, and I got to get you the symbol. It's called WixPix, and it's a scheduling app company. They also were listed on the New York Stock Exchange. So now we're actually seeing the progression of companies using Reg.A Plus Tier 2 to get listed, and the fruition of the Jobs Act is coming because now you're seeing these companies have access to public markets like you haven't seen before, and this is a great movement. And
also you got to explain to the audience too exactly why we've been touting the Tier 2 option versus the Tier 1. It's to get to spaces like this.
No, absolutely. Ron,
yeah.
From the very beginning of the show, we started talking about, we outlined, and for you listeners who are joining us, we outlined the differences between Reg.A Tier 1 and Tier 2. If you go back into the archives, you can check it out on iTunes. You can go to Spreaker. You can go to Stitcher. You can go to any of the platforms that our show is presented on. You can check the archives. But Ron and I have always focused on, and we've always believed that the true nature of the Jobs Act was always intended to be Regulation A plus Tier 2. The Tier 2 is the higher reporting and the higher level of accountability for the company and for the investor to be able to lay everything out in a clear, concise manner, so that way everyone can understand that you could bring the broker-dealers to the table, you could bring the retail investors, you could bring the institutional investors, and the company would have the access to the public markets that were at like say less than 18 months ago, 20 months ago, Ron, they didn't even have access to. So this is very exciting. So let's. I tell you what, everybody, you're listening to Ron Costa and Miguel Dotres here on the Reg.A Money Show. I'd like for all of you guys who are listening out there to stick with us, because when we come back from our break, we're going to have the Chief Executive Officer of Myomo, the very first company to be listed using a Reg.A Regulation Tier 2 offering on the New York Stock Exchange. So don't go away. We'll come right back. We're going to just pay a couple of bills, and then we'll be right back. All right, so stay tuned.
Yeah, sounds good, Miguel. Thanks.